Hello and welcome to this beautiful picker card session. How exciting. What starseed are you? Now there are many star seeds, as you know, and I've only chosen 3 today because there's 3 cards. I don't want to be on here for hours and hours talking about all the different star seeds, but this one's going to be very interesting and I'd love your feedback and I'd love to know if this resonated with you or not. And if it didn't, then maybe watch the other ones as well to see if any of the other ones really resonate with you. So today we've got card number 1. And if you chose card number 1, you are Lemurian from Lemuria. So Lemurians are, well, they're really creating heaven on earth. Back in probably 12,000 years ago or longer, they say that Lemuria was in the Pacific Ocean. It sunk. They talk about it being like around the vicinity of Hawaii, Fiji, Madagascar. That's a huge expansive area. But the Lemurians, it really is and was heaven on earth with beautiful crystal clear waters. It really was a paradise. So if you are Lemurian, you are very instinctive and intuitive. You always trust your gut. And if you don't, then you definitely should. It's time for you to really step in and trust those gut feelings. You have supernatural powers. Woo! And you work with the quantum field. So some of your supernatural powers might be telepathy or clairvoyancy. You really are good with vibrations and working in the quantum. Maybe you even do some manifesting work, teach manifesting. You've got infinite knowledge of consciousness available to you being Lemurian. So they very much are all about being in the consciousness, in the quantum field. So, we're very unified. We are one. It's a very much I am consciousness, really aligned. It means you're really aligned to your higher self. And if you're not, then it's time for you to step into this and become fully aligned with your higher self. And really stepping into that everyone is equal and oneness that we are, right? That consciousness, that frequency of we are all equal. Lemurians can be very graceful. So whether you are graceful in this lifetime or not, let me know. You're a gifted healer. You might even volunteer in this lifetime, but the Lemurians are very, very gifted healers and they love to give and they love to heal. They're very much masters of technology. So technology could interest you in this lifetime. Very much into atomic energy and science. You could be drawn to dolphins because the dolphins are Lemurian. The dolphins are 12th dimensional beings who really hold the grid of light earth matrix. So, they're really, really beautiful, special creatures, aren't they? They're being 12th dimensional beings, they really are so much more on a higher frequency than we are. If you're in the 3D or 5D. And so the Lemurians are very connected to the divine feminine, which is, as we know, all about the soul unity and being at one with everyone on earth and everyone in the universe. We are all connected. So I will just read to you a little excerpt out of the Work Your Light Oracle Cards Guidebook by Rebecca Campbell on Lemuria. It's one of Earth's lost lands, Lemuria, where heaven really was a place on earth, a time before we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And in Lemuria, Life worked in harmony. All beings were seen as equal and were deeply reverent to Mother Earth and Gaia. We knew that a mosquito was no worse than us and the sun no better. Perhaps you too believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. Perhaps you are part of the transition team who at soul level are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on the planet now. Thank you for wanting to do this work. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet right now, but you're being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future. It's closer than you think. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lemuria in your own community, family, workplace, or within yourself. Know that it is possible. And while at times it might feel like you are alone, you truly are not. There are hundreds of thousands who hold the codes of this ancient lost land, and even Lemuria crystal that holds the codes of remembering that are beginning to rise all over the planet. Keep doing what you're doing and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to first heal ourselves. So I want you to say out loud, I hold the codes of Lemuria and believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. That is gorgeous. And really look at this card and the absolute aqua beauty within this card. All of those gorgeous colors, the crystal clear blue waters, and waters is emotions and healing, as we know, and also being in Pisces season at the moment, or whenever you're watching this, you might not be in Pisces season. However, it's really a time to go within and go into your emotions and start to really allow yourself to feel your emotions and not hold them back, not hold them in, and not being so icy, not being so protective of your heart, protective of not wanting to let anyone in. You're not alone. You're connected to all the other Lemurians and all the other spiritual light workers on the planet at the moment. So I want you to really feel that within your heart space and really anchor that feeling in, that connectedness, that beauty that is Lemuria, and that is you, and that is in your heart. Okay, so if you chose card number 2, you are from Mintakan. I don't know if I've said that right. So Mintakan starseeds, they come from Mintaka. That's a bit easier to say. So you might have gone through a disruptive awakening in your life if you've chosen this card, if you are a Mintakan. You might love astrology, numerology, or sacred geometry. You might really be drawn to those. You might even teach it. You're naturally curious. You want to know how everything works, but you don't often invest the time to do so. You are actually curious, but you're not really interested in spending a lot of time learning it or getting to know how it works. You can be highly social, and you're very curious of supernatural topics. You could very much be into aliens or Star Trek or those types of movies or realities. You love a physical challenge. You love to push the limits of your body. And so is this resonating with you? I'd love to know if you feel like you are from Mintaka. You crave new experiences. You love large families and big circles of friends. You know, you can feel the expanse in that energy. You're great communicators and you have really strong intuition. So it's really important for you to follow that intuition. You're here to learn the value of boundaries and grounding. So it's really important for you to really start grounding yourself every day and really putting boundaries in place for yourself, always putting yourself first and making sure that, you know, your boundaries are in place, whereas no, that doesn't feel right for me to do that, but thank you. You know, putting yourself first is a must at this time on the planet. You could be drawn to water and to sea creatures. You manifest very easily. You're here to teach humanity all about love and unity in this lifetime. You might have difficulty with low energy people, low energy places and circumstances. So it's really important for you to keep your frequency high and not to allow those low vibrational people to affect you, hence why your boundaries are so important to you. You could even have trouble with artificial light. You might get headaches from that artificial light bulbs, migraines. You could even bruise easily. You might have delicate skin and blood vessels. I know I bruise very easily. And you may even be sensitive to drugs and alcohol. You could have a very high or a very low tolerance to these things. And Mintakan people are usually got very interesting appearances. Their eyes can be very intense, or there's something interesting usually about their appearance. And you're here to help raise the vibration of the planet. So this is what you're here to do right now. And of course, it starts within, doesn't it? It starts with us. So you can't help to do that unless you've raised your frequency and your vibration yourself. So it's time to get to work, Mintakans. And you could be a teacher. You could be an energy healer in therapy or in the creative arts. And if you're not, it's time for you to start living your purpose and do what lights you up. Now is the time, isn't it? Now, let me read to you a little bit from the beautiful Work Your Light Oracle card guidebook by Rebecca Campbell as to what she says about the Mintakans. You're a small group who originated on a planet in the constellation Orion. You were the first star beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original light workers. Your home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure that you could see through it for miles. For this reason, Mintakans feel most at peace and at home when in or around crystal clear water. You are here to teach us to see the potential in everything and the light in all beings. Many Mintakans have an odd longing for home and struggle with feeling like they don't belong. It is thought that this is due to their home planet no longer being in existence. If you pulled this card, it could mean that you are a Mintakan or are longing for a sense of belonging, and root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel safe and secure. So let's do that root chakra healing on you right now. And I want you to just really feel that love down inside your root chakra and that safety and that security for you and your little inner child, the little one inside of you that just desires to feel safe. I want you to just think of a color that means safety to you and feels safe to you, and anchor that color into your root chakra right now and just see it spinning around and feeling nice and warm and safe and protective. Perhaps you feel this longing to find home without knowing where that is. Perhaps you've been moving around a lot and yearn for a place on earth to call your own. This really resonates with me, actually. If so, you are being called to connect with Mother Earth and create it for yourself now. Create this feeling of home now. To choose where you feel most at home and create it, rather than waiting for the feeling of belonging to come. I want you to put your hand on your heart and say, I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and call in the perfect home. Take a big deep breath and let it go. Now, thank you for receiving that beautiful message. If you chose card number 3, you are a Palladian. The Pallades. You have a double mission on this planet, being Palladian, channeling and uplifting humanity, it says, doesn't it? So Palladians, you know, they're very highly evolved star seeds. They're usually the ones that you see that are blue with the blonde hair, or they might not be blue. There's lots of different, I think there's 3 or 4 different sort of hybrid type Palladians that are going around and that I see quite a bit. They could have that Scandinavian appearance, tall, blonde, but you don't need to have that appearance on this earth. That's just the spiritual, how they show themselves in spirit. You could be in childcare, in healing, spirituality in this lifetime, or psychology. You're here to protect humanity. The Palladian teachings come during meditation or during sleep for you. So you've come to help transition the humans from the 3D consciousness to the 5D, which is a huge healing mission. You're here to do big things at this time. And, you know, it says, do you look at the stars and feel homesick? Pallades is a soul healing station with visitors from other star nations for the purpose of studying, relaxing, and healing. That sounds so beautiful, doesn't it? So your primary heart chakra is the heart chakra, and the weakest chakra is your throat. So it's very important for you to really speak your truth and to start speaking. This really resonates with me because I feel like my throat is the weakest chakra as well. I get a lot of problems in my throat and lots of tickles and everything like that when I'm doing my videos. But I know that it's because I'm meant to speak. And the more that I speak, the more that my throat chakra activates and heals. So this is one of my purposes too. And I am a number 3 as well, which is all about, in numerology, which is all about communication. This is one of my lessons, to communicate and to learn how to communicate effectively and strongly in this lifetime. So I'm doing my best. So being Palladian, you love to love. You are romantic, you crave love. You might be highly intuitive. You probably are. You make a very loyal partner. You could love animals and really hate cruelty of all types, not just to animals, but to all other humans. You're so honest and you're a very powerful healer. You are a huge giver and you put others before you, but it's time to not do that. It's time to put yourself first. You are prone to burnout because you're always giving and always doing things for others. And now's the time for you to focus on your self-love and really go within. This might resonate with you as well, which is totally me. You try to fix others. You attract partners with emotional issues, narcissists, and energy vampires. Yep. So true. In the past, not anymore. So this stops happening when we start putting ourselves first, right? And really loving ourselves and putting those boundaries in place for ourselves. You're an empath. You're highly sensitive. You hate conflict and criticism. Yep. This is me to a T. How about you? Does this resonate? And you've probably been through some trauma as a child. And you know, like I do talk about this a lot. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be like a sexual abuse or anything that hugely traumatic to you. It could just be abandonment by one of your parents, or it could be, you know, for a child, even someone laughing at them or the whole class laughing at you can be hugely traumatic for a poor little child, or no one wanting to play with you. You know, these things really scar us in adulthood. So it's really time for you to start loving that inner child and giving that little child inside of you all of the love and all of the healing and all of the safety that you desire. And this is hugely healing, doing this, sitting with your inner child and just giving her everything that she needs, the space, the time, and just allowing her to feel her emotions and be seen and heard and validated and protected and loved and cherished. And when you do this, this is hugely, hugely healing. for your heart, for your soul. So I'm just going to read to you the excerpt from the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell about the Pleiades. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings, dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest, and so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. So put your hand on your heart and say with me, I call along upon Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realms and the highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. This is really important, isn't it? To always do things that light you up and that serve you and that help you. One of my lessons in doing the work that I do is, you always used to think, oh, what do people need help with? What do people need to hear? What would help people, instead of what would light me up to teach, or what would light me up to share, or to help people with their healing. And this has just been a huge lesson, because this is where the burnout happens if you don't do this and you do what you think people need and want, because then it feels like work. It doesn't feel like it's lighting you up. You're not sharing it from a heart space of being lit up and able to hold the energy. It's from a depleted place, or a place of, oh, I have to do this now, or this is something that I've got to do, and it doesn't feel nice, does it? So I hope that you enjoyed this reading today, and let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. Hope you have an amazing day, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you. Bye.